In this lecture, we are going to see different operations on Firebase real-time database. That is how to store our nodes, then how we can read all the list of our nodes and we need to display it, then update and delete operations. So let's start with our screen designing. Basically now first we are going to design this screen, that is our home screen. Okay, and when user click on this add button, then we need to display a different screen for adding nodes, which has different fields like we need to get nodes title description from user. So let's start with our screen designing. I'm first designing this screen, home screen. So I'm going to create, or we already have this main activity, so we'll use this as a home activity. Now we need to change this XML file. Okay, here first we need to add this toolbar, then this text when no data was present, and finally we need to add this button. So first I'm changing this root layout as a linear layout, then its orientation will be vertical, and I'm removing this text view. We need to use that floating action button, so we need some dependencies. I'm adding those dependencies here. File, project structure, then you need to select your module, which is app, then dependencies, add library dependencies. Here we'll need one dependency for designing, so this one. Then we also need a card view, support design, then card view, this one, and we are going to display a list of nodes in a recycler view, so we are adding it, this one, recycler view. Okay, when you add those dependencies, you can see here in this build.get file, those dependencies were added here. Okay, now I am adding toolbar here first. Height will be say wrap content. Actually it's not showing here. Let me check our dependencies. Let's try to change all these dependencies to the latest ones, so I'm using alpha version. Similarly for this design recycler also. Okay. See now this toolbar is added here. Let's add a background color. Okay, color primary. Now we need to give ID because we are going to add one title here. So ID will be toolbar underscore home. Then below, if you check this design here, we need to add this floating action button and one text view. So first I am taking one frame layout. Height and width will be match parent. Then in that frame layout, we need to add one uh, text view. So first I am going to add a text view from here. Okay, the text will be start creating nodes. So start creating nodes with fire node. Okay, its text size will be say 18 sp. Then text color say black, and we need this text view to be at center. So I'm adding layout gravity as a center. Okay, then we need one more floating action button. If you keep this wrap content, it will look like this. Okay, this button we need it at the bottom, so layout gravity will be bottom right, and we are going to add some margin. So let's say margin of 20 dp. Okay, I'm giving some size here, say 60 dp, and height will also be 60 dp. Okay, now let's add this image to the floating action button. So I am adding src. We need to add that plus icon, so this one. Okay, uh, for this icon to be at center, this path size should be normal. Okay. Now we need to give IDs. This toolbar ID is already there. Okay, for this text view also we need to add some ID. So text underscore home, no data. And for this floating action button underscore add node. Okay. Now here we need to create objects for all these views, that is floating action button, then text view. So let's create those objects with butter knife. And for this button we need to add click listener. Okay. We need to set title for the toolbar. So toolbar home dot set title. Title will be our app name, so fire node. Then title color, toolbar dot set title text color. Here color will be white, so color dot white. Okay. Now on this button click, we need to open our new activity for adding nodes. So the design is, you can see here, this one, which contains text fields or edit text for title and description, and one button is there for saving that note to Firebase. Now let's design this screen. Activity underscore add notes. I'm changing this root element as a linear layout. If you see the design, we need all these views at the center, and the toolbar title will be add note. So first we need to add a toolbar here. I'm using this same one. Okay. Then again I'm adding one linear layout here. It should be match parent. We need a vertical layout, so orientation will be vertical, and in that layout we are going to add two edit text and one button. So for edit text I am using this plain text. Let's remove this parameter. Okay. So hint will be note title, then text size 15 sp, text color will be black. We also need to set hint color. Okay, then gravity will be center. Okay, the ID will be edit text underscore title. Same, one more edit text will require for a description. Let's add some top margin. Here I am adding some padding here. Let's say 20 dp, and we need all those fields at center, so gravity will be center. Now we require one button, so I am taking this button. Button underscore, let's say save note. Its color will be our primary color, that is we are using blue here. Let's change those colors because in this design it's looking nice, this purple color. So whenever you are using colors from this resource file, you just need to change the color here. So primary color, primary will be, say this one, then color primary dark will be okay, and this color is fine because we are also using same here. Okay, now this button text will be, let's add first text color white, then text will be save note. Text size we are using 18 for buttons. Okay, and some top margin. Yes, I'm giving some width to this button. Okay. Now if you want to make these corners curve as they are looking in the design, we need to add some drawable resource file as a background. So let's add it. We need to create one resource file in this drawable folder. Let's give name as a background underscore button. This root element will be shape. Here you need to specify its background color, and for this tag is solid, color is primary. Then we need to make those corners little bit curved, so the tag will be corners. Then you need to specify a radius, and the corner curve depends on this radius. So if I am using 10 dp, then the curve will be like this. If I increase this, it will look like this. Okay, and now this file we are going to set as a background. So background will be this file, back underscore button. Okay, actually it's looking too much curve there, so I'm just again replacing it as a 10. Okay, let's change this ID toolbar underscore add node. So this is our add node screen is ready. Now we need to create a Java file for this same. Java class will be add nodes activity. Okay. Here also we need to create objects. This click listener for button. Now let's add title for the toolbar. And title color will be white. Okay. We need to add this activity in manifest file, because main activity is already there. So this new activity we are adding here, add nodes activity. Now if you remember, when we implemented login functionality, if login is successful, we are redirecting user to this main activity, that is our home activity. Now when user clicks on this add node button, we need to give intent for our new activity, that is add nodes activity. Intent add equal to new intent. Current context will be main activity dot this and add nodes activity dot class. Start activity intent. Okay, now let's take this application. I am running it. One more thing we need to do is, whenever user logins in this application, we need to save a status, because otherwise it will ask every time for login functionality. So better if login is successful, we'll keep some value in shared preference, so that next time we'll check if user is already logged in, then we can directly open our home screen. Now if you check here, I am logged with my email ID and password. This home screen is open. We need to change this text color. We'll change it later. Now if you click on this button, this add note activity will be opened. Okay. First let's change that text color. Say hint color. Then one more thing we need to do is, if you want, you can add that back arrow in the toolbar for this add notes activity. So the code will be set navigation icon, but before that we need to add that icon in the drawable folder. So better I am taking it from vector icons. You need to click on a drawable, new, vector asset. Here you need to select which icon you want to add. I need this arrow. Click on OK. You can change the name here, arrow underscore back. Also you can change color. So I need this in white color. Okay. Next and finish. So you will see this arrow back icon is added here. Now I am setting this icon in the toolbar. Toolbar dot set navigation icon, r dot drawable dot ic underscore arrow back. Okay, and if you want to add some action to this icon, then toolbar dot set navigation on click listener is there. Whenever user press this back arrow, we just need to finish this activity. Okay. Now we'll save that login status in our shared preferences. So in login activity, you need to create object of shared preference and one object of shared preference editor for writing that data into the shared preferences. Okay. So now let's initialize these shared preferences. Here you need to pass two variables. First one is a name and second one is mode, which is private. So I am adding name as a fire notes data and the mode will be private. So context dot mode underscore private. Okay. Then you need to initialize this editor equal to for this we are going to use the shared preference object. So shared preferences dot edit. Now whenever you need to save some value, you are setting this value to editor first and then we are committing this value to shared preferences. So what you need to check here, if okay, this login user, if this login is successful, you will get status here. We need to just save some value in that shared preference. So better I am adding one boolean value. So editor dot put boolean. The key will be login status. You can use this key from some constant file or some data file. so that it will be better if you want to access it many times in the application. But now we are using this here only, so value will be true. And here the value will be false, and you need to commit this value, so editor dot commit. Same here. Now whenever we open our application, this activity will be launched first, that is splash screen activity. So here you need to check if the status is true, then we are directly going to open our home screen, otherwise we'll show login screen to the user. So here also you need to get that shared preference object. You need to initialize it in the same way because this name should be same. Okay. Now here you will check it. If shared preferences dot get boolean, here you need to pass the same key, that is login status, and here we are going to set a default value which is false. Okay, so if this value is true, then only we can open main activity, otherwise we need to open this login activity. And if this value is true, we'll open our main activity. Okay, now let's check it. If you check here, initially it's asking for a login. I'm logging here with my email ID and password. This user is logged in successfully. You can check this activity as well. This navigation arrow is added here. If you click on this, it will dismiss or finish that activity. Now if you open it again, it's directly going to home activity because we already logged in our application. Now let's see how we can create a simple note and how to save that data in a Firebase. If you remember, when we were storing user information, we created one model class for all the fields which we used in that process. So for saving notes also, we'll create one model class let's say user node, and I think we have this add nodes activity. So if you check here, we are getting two fields from a user, that is node title and description, plus we need to save date, that is current date for that node, and one more thing we need to save is a node id, because whenever we are going to save nodes in a Firebase, we'll save that particular user nodes, all user nodes under user id, and every node will also have one unique id which we get from a Firebase only, and we need to keep that id, because later when we need to update or edit our particular node, or if you want to delete a specific node, then you need to specify that id, which id you need to modify or which id you need to delete. So that's why we need four fields here. So I am creating one model class for storing that node information, say user nodes, which implements serializable. Then we need to take four fields here. First one is title, say node title, then a node description, then node date, and last one is say node id. Okay. Now we need to create constructor for this class. So generate constructor. Okay. And we need to also write getter setter functions for all these variables. So generate getter and setter for all these variables. Okay. Now this is our model class is ready. So when user enters that information, that is title and description, and when we click on this save node, first we need to get that information from this edit text fields, and we need to add validation for those fields. So string title equal to edit text title dot get text, and string description equal to edit text description dot get text, and we need one more parameter, that is current date. So first we'll specify a date format, say dd you can use any date format that you want to display your date. Then create object for a calendar class, calendar.get instance, and finally you will get your current date, like say today's date equal to simple date format dot format calendar dot get time. Okay, so these three fields are ready. Now one more field we need here, that is a node id, but we'll get that when we actually going to save our node to the Firebase. Then Firebase will generate random key, and that key we need to save here. So first let's add validation for these fields. So if title dot equals ignore case empty, that is if title is not empty, then only we can proceed, otherwise we need to display error message. Say please enter title. Okay. Similarly, after this title validation, we need to check for a description. If it's not empty, then only we can proceed. Okay. Now for saving our nodes, we need to create one separate node or separate table, because if you see here in the Firebase console, this users table is there, and in that we have saved our user specific information. Now for saving nodes, we'll create one different table. So let's create first a reference path for that table. Database reference, say database nodes, and we need to initialize it here. So database nodes equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference, and here you need to specify your table name, say user nodes. Okay, so similar to this, user nodes table will be created, and in that table we are going to store our user nodes, or use all the nodes under one user ID. Now we already created a reference path for storing our nodes, that is this user node table. But in this table we need to save our nodes independently, like that means for every user we need to take one user ID, and under that user ID we are going to save all our nodes. So if you remember, when we added our sign up logic, then Firebase will return a unique ID for that user. So if you check here in the sign up activity, this register user function is there. Okay, and when this task is successful, means when your user is registered successfully, you will get this current user ID, and the same user ID we are going to use for saving our nodes. So what you need to do is, at this time, whenever you get this current user ID, you need to save that ID in some local database, that is shared preference or SQLite, anything, and later we are going to use the same ID for storing our data and for reading also. So I think I didn't saved this ID. Okay, so let me save that first. For this same we need our shared preference objects, so I'm copying those objects. Okay, now we need to initialize them. Okay, so we already implemented two methods for sign up. One is email and password, and the next one is OTP login. So for both cases we need to save our user ID. So I think this code is for email and password, this function register user. So if you check here you will get that user ID. So I'm saving that ID here. Or you can save it here also when we are displaying that success message. So editor dot put string, key is UID, and you need to save that UID here. Okay, and editor dot commit. Similarly for OTP login also. So if you check your sign up process, then this is our OTP login. Okay, so here we can save that editor dot put string UID, and this user ID we need to save here. Okay, Now the same objects we require in our add nodes activity for getting that user ID. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll already retrieve that user ID here only in onCreate method. So current user ID equal to shared preferences dot get string. Our key was UID and default value will be empty. And we need to store all nodes under that user ID only. That's why I'm adding a child here for that database reference path. Child will be user ID. So whenever you want to store or read a data for that particular user, you need to point to this path so that we can get all information about those nodes. Now we already have our title, description and date ready. So for saving that information in the Firebase, we need to create one object for our model class which we created for user nodes. Okay, so this is our model class which accepts all the parameters for storing that node, that is title, description, date and this node ID. Okay, so first let's generate that random node ID. For this, string key equal to database nodes dot push dot get key. Okay, this will generate a random unique key every time you are going to save your data, and that key also we need to store because later when we want to edit or delete our nodes, we need to use the same key. So now I am creating that model object user nodes equal to new user nodes, and first parameter is title, then second one is description, third one is a date which we calculated current date, and the last one is node ID, that is key. Okay, so this model class object is ready. Now we are going to write the complete class object in the Firebase. So the path will be database nodes dot child this key, because every node we want to save independently, so the child will be key, and dot set value user nodes. Also as previously we added completion listeners, we are going to add here also. So add completion listener, new on completion listener. We need to check our task status, so is successful. Then we need to show some success message, say node saved successfully, and we need to finish this activity so that it will return to the main activity, that is where you will get all the list of nodes and that plus button. So I am just finishing this activity. Now let's add some progress bar. So progress dialog, progress dialog dot set message saving nodes, and when we call this function or when we save these nodes, we need to show that dialog. So if both these validations are passed, then we can show that dialog, progress dialog dot show, and whenever this task is completed, whether it is successful or not, we need to dismiss that dialog. So progress dialog dot dismiss, and if task is not successful, we'll display some error message. But in that case, we don't need to finish this activity. Say error saving note. Okay. Now in Firebase console, if you check here, okay, in authentication, we already authenticated user using email and password, but at that time we didn't save that user ID. So again we need to authenticate user, because now we require that ID. So better I'm deleting this user. It's not necessary to delete, but I'm going to use the same account, so I'm deleting this. Okay. Now let's check our application. Now here we need to register that user again, because we already deleted our registered account. Then email ID and password. Okay. So this user is registered. Then you need to log in to that application using same email ID. Okay. And password. Okay. Now we'll see our save or add note logic. So when I click on this button, this add note activity is opened. Now we need to add a title here. For checking validations, you can check here. It's saying please enter title. So let's say title app promotion, and this description will be like create some banners for app promotion. Okay. Now when you click on this save button, okay, this note was saved successfully. Now you can check that note here in database tab. You see here the second table, which is named as user notes, and in that table this is our user ID, and in that user ID this is the first note which we just saved. The title is like app promotion, this is description, this is our note date, that is today's date, and this is the ID. These both IDs are same because we are saving this ID only, and this we are going to use for update and delete purpose. So this is our first note. Now if you save one more note here, say Android Firebase tutorial, and description will be learn FCM integration. Okay. Now when you click on this save button, we already added a code for saving that note, and you can see here our second note is listed here. Title is Android Firebase tutorial, and this description, the date will be same. Okay. So this is how you can store or you can write a data to Firebase.